INTP. The classification or typing that receives people with the introverted thinking function as the most dominant process in the anatomy of their brain. Yes, MBTI tries to be as factual as it can, then human experimentation is to be reading. Humans under pesky standards. No, it is the science. War for political and socio-economical gain? Yes. But to develop science, what is good going to think about us? Cry about it. Me? Oh no. I am an INTP, or big difference is aggression. I commit a crime, you giggle behind me. If anything, we don't know each other. Ahem. Introverted thinking as a main function means to process internally through logic. It is to construct a world based upon facts and evidence for yourself. Numbers, causes and consequences. Having a T-dominant function is mostly evidence of a high IQ. Well, no. An uncomfortable truth is that relying on numbers doesn't make you a mathematician. INTPs are known for being stereotypically big-brained. Sadly, just as some other types are not denied from being smart or from relying on other functions, there is such a scenario where to rely on such because there is nothing to rely on. Brain is big when compared with other things you have. The thing is that you could just be a little guy. Did your confidence sink a little? Well, just imagine what it's to be a little guy from any other type. What does those people do? Well, now the world makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? The functions are 8, combined with introverted or extroverted, intuition. Intuition, which is to rely on knowledge. It is wrongly interpreted as an instinct or insight. Then it is to the second recognize patterns to have an easier understanding about reality. Those are learned, memorized, and integrated correctly accordingly. It is a liberty of patterns, knowledge, memory. Sensing, to rely on the sense function, is unknown to me. All brains are meant to have the functions, but my sensing does not sense. So anything I state about the sensing function will not be my interpretation. I will be quoting some random information. So here it goes. Improvisation and reflexes. I don't know. This might be why you're better at fighting games. Thinking. In short, the processing power, the INTP dominant function, to construct systems and apply logic into situations. It creates new knowledge, rather than comparing to old knowledge. Yes, I know knowledge is innovative by nature. I'll explain afterwards. Lastly, feelings, emotions, to recognize and manage them. INTPs feel. Usually, they do not pay attention to the feelings. Feelings are disregarded, but they are there. Hype about video games, annoyance about someone doesn't understand, or sadness for being alone for too long. The small happiness when a girl says hi, grudges and despite. ENTPs have that. ENTPs think they have it. A faint sensation is there, then they will turn off. ENTPs have to. Since the most we feel is annoyance, rage, and hatred. Let us say that your mom is awesome, and no, she is alive. That has to count on something, whatever. More random facts about ENTPs. You are terrible at communication. Having a T function sounds awesome. Then you realize that you have to think everything you say, and instead of looking like someone smart, others just think that you're autistic. Not funny. It is truly hilarious to me. How dare you to not speak without thinking? Why are you so dumb? Let us call him neurodivergent. He is not going to know that we secretly think he's... But at the other way around. The others infer that their message is clear and precise. There's a bunch of black and white kung fu warriors that will end your life if you keep paying yourself. Clear and precise. There is definitely a single option to solve this problem. Only one clear solution, I say. No more than that. And the solution is... Oh my, what have you done? You were supposed to befriend and murder us with the power of love. Or better yet, stop being autistic and become a better person. But hey, it's your choice to become a villain. Another fact. ENTPs are masters of comedy. Of course, understanding reality allows them to process irony to their maximum potential. INTPs can master eloquence as well, where if this is incidental or not. As such, sometimes people think that ENTPs are ANTPs, since ENTPs are stereotypically shy and avoidant. But no, they can learn how to be performative, more if there is such thing as something to gain. Then, what they cannot learn is to care. INTPs are not easy to manipulate, at least not in the standard way. Since they disregard their own feelings, emotional leverage cannot be used. Then they struggle to identify the feeling and become confused with certainty. And lastly, they will find the cause and consequence of the intention before engaging. Then, I'll give you big bonus, honey, if you know my binding. The probability of being tricked is over 9,009, but I choose to believe in miracles! They have to reproduce somehow. About intelligence, are ENTPs smarter than ANTPs? Common perception will say no, then tests will point out to yes. Then again, the tests are... I do not agree with the IQ test in general. IQ is only one of the three that I will consider as practical intelligence. Ingenuity, wisdom, and of course, intelligence are what I consider the Trinity-defined conjunction: abstraction, processing, and integration. IQ tests try to deny the first and the last as much as possible, with the intention of theoretical complete pure nutrition. Sadly, reality likes to be ironic as usual. As in many games, a you win the game effect will be in theory powerful, but theory is just theory, and in reality, draw two cards is the real and beyond absurd broken effect. That big brain means nothing without the balls to use it. Oops, that was unintentional brutal. Oh, look at the hour, it's time for me to leave.